Changing the world one person at a time. That was a reminder from Mr. West Washington, a truly amazing man, who, by the way, was featured in Ebony magazine in July 1962. Then there was a very interesting T-shirt quote, "If it is to be, it's up to me." The thoughts of Microdac. The title reads, USA, One Country, Different Worlds. I'm reminded on a daily basis just how fragile life can be. Adversity, for any of us, is simply waiting in the wings, and not to accept that potential is a height of arrogance, I think. On the other side of the coin is the knowing, the knowledge of the limitation of life itself. It's really up to us to enjoy life to the maximum. Tomorrow is simply not promised. In America, in spite of our differences, there are common areas for us to enjoy amenities of life and living. I'm now convinced that fear and mistrust of each other and not money prevents us from truly embracing the goodness of life and in meeting and appreciating each other. Take camping, for example. Experiencing the outdoors with fellow nature lovers, and let's face it, we are all lovers of nature. But first, a story. Some weeks ago, I was in one of the very deep southern states. Relatives had rented cabins up in the mountains for a family reunion. One of the local residents relayed a story to me. A man was found shot to death in their neck of the woods. 16 bullets, and the local sheriff declared his death a suicide. The dead man did not look like, quote, one of us, she added. Was it a true story? I don't know. Did it instill fear in me of these people? Yes, it did. You read about these sort of atrocities all the time. So camping in the wild, for some people, invoked fear of life itself, their life. After all, what conscientious human being would subject their family to such, shall we say, hospitality, right here in America? That is the fear and apprehension part of that scenario. But my personal reality in the western country parts of Virginia, well, here it is. It was a beautiful experience. Spending 2 nights sharing experiences with friendly neighbors, black, white, and mixed couples, seeing license plates from all over the country. Responsive and friendly staff who not only provided communal food, beans, cornbread, marshmallow, that sort of thing, around an open fire pit where people could linger and exchange stories if they wanted to. As for the amenities, nice, clean showers and toilets. As a matter of fact, cleaner than the national park. Activities for the kids, fishing of course, available game room and conference rooms, all for about $30 a night for your camper or tent space. And of course, and each site had electricity and running water. Why did I mention camping? Exposure to diversity for one, and because we all have our experience of what America is all about. But for many of us, we have no idea what other Americans are all about. We may occasionally see the picture postcards as vignettes on television, but in our minds, in the privacy of our home, these snapshots are staged. After all, we're so bombarded with advertising and marketing that we no longer know what is true or not true. Even politicians capitalize on our fears and our anxieties rather than conveying facts, truth. A wise lady in Stockbridge, Georgia, told me that as long as hate and intolerance are means to make money, we will never appreciate our mutual respect and admiration. There is simply no money in cooperation and friendship between all Americans. I say, let's prove her wrong, and take your family to see how others live on the other side of the track. Enjoy a campsite this weekend.